back to another episode of Scrolling with Lady Di, and guess who popped up on my newsfeed? KeKe Palmer. KeKe Palmer is known for her amazing role in The Aquila and the Bee. She's also known for having a whole bunch of drama with her baby father and how crazy she was acting at the Usher concert. But let's get into something else that she shared on social media the other day.
If you don't get dragged on Black Twitter, then don't nobody love you.
Who are you?
You say that all the time.
Like, it's kind of like a love tap.
Who are you?
Basically, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing nothing. But also, I think that that's just a toxic way of thinking. I don't want to hear or see nothing crazy about me on the internet, especially not as much. So she's talking about a lot of people are talking drama, right? Not a small percentage. I don't think that we should want people talking about us. I don't care how good we have it in life. We should all have people that's rooting for us. We need to have more people cheering us on, saying that, yes, you can do it. You're doing a good job. That's what we need to see more of. It's a lot of hating going on.
I
feel like it's a love tap on the lowest of keys. So it's like,
they be hurting them, man. They be coming hard.
Yeah, sometimes they do get you.
They come hard.
I hate a faceless profile, though. I like to be able to go to a page and like see them and say something back mean to them. You know?
Oh my God.
Toxic and drama, but that's her new podcast. You guys go subscribe to that.
Dad had this talk with me where he was like, okay, so I didn't do a lot of things right. I'm sorry that you didn't like this. I'm sorry that you didn't like that. But now you're a grown woman. So now what are you going to do with that? Are you going to be mad at me forever?
Well, that's a good lesson that her dad taught her, because everybody's not going to do everything that you like. And this is regarding to her relationship. She had a lot of drama with her baby father. She disrespected him by going to the Usher concert and having the revealing outfit on top of flirting with Usher on stage. That was the disrespectful part. She should have took this in consideration when she was mad at her boyfriend for being mad at her for wearing this crazy outfit. Posted it on social media saying that she's not a good mother and all of that bad stuff. She could have used that information and said, okay, you know what? Maybe I was doing a little bit too much. Maybe my boyfriend is not overreacting. I am his, right? Because they have a child together and they decided to be together, even though they're not married, but they were very committed to each other. That's enough right there. You guys are sharing and bonding with a human. That's enough to keep you guys together. That's enough for you guys to take the next step and get married. But no, she's saying all of this, but she doesn't use it for her own life. Now, taking matters in your own hands. Obviously, she did that. She's like, you know what? I'm not taking this crap. I'm going to leave my boyfriend. I'm going to leave the father of my child, which was crazy because now you're just saying you don't want to do stuff together with no one. He had a right to be mad. That's not a reason to leave him because now you guys can't get it together. There was also some domestic violence going on too with that situation. But, they were blaming him. Oh, you're the one that's hitting her. But no, she was actually hitting him as well. Both of them were doing crazy toxic things. So it means that y'all crazy toxic people should figure it out. That doesn't mean that you leave the other. You're just like him. So she could take her advice from her father and put it into her own life, but not take it in a negative way where she's taking matters in her own hands. Take it in a positive way to where you're making change. You're keeping togetherness with the family that you created instead of ripping you guys apart. But the main topic of this video is KeKe Palmer talking about how it's okay to date men that have less money. But let's get into this clip with Shannon Sharp.
My parents, at their best, made $40,000 a year growing up. A year.
Yeah.
I was making that a show.
You guys know that she had her own show back in the day when she was a lot younger. She was in her early 20s. She was making that a show. Wow.
How much access did your parents allow you to have to the money?
My parents rationed me out an allowance, but they also rationed out my older sister an allowance as well. And I think the thing about it, somebody can say, okay, well, that was your money. Yeah, but we're a family and everybody sacrificed for me to be where I'm at.
So this is just breaking down why she is okay with dating a man that's making less money than her, because she was taking care of her parents at a young age. So that's how she treated her relationship. Her ex-boyfriend did not make nearly as close money as she did. So she was okay with living with him and probably paying most of the bills anyway. She's okay with living like that because she looks at it more than just money. She looks at it more than just, I guess, a man providing, because she's been a provider when she was a child and she's still a provider now. She's still probably providing for her family. So when it comes to a man, she doesn't need that from him is what she's saying.
And I would do it again. I would give up and sacrifice 20 more years of my life working in this industry so that I could provide and we could have the business we had today.
KeKe, it's not normal that a child is the provider for the family. Normally it's vice versa. Parents, father, mother, sometimes the father
Can I
works.
have a tissue?
But
Yeah, it's not her job, but it was her job for back then. She was the only one that was making that much money. Her parents allowed her to be a child actor. So if your child is bringing in income like that, then it will be normal for what you allowed. You allowed that child to do that. If you didn't allow her to do it, then she wouldn't have that money. But obviously, you wanted her to pursue her dreams. So yes, it's not normal, but it's normal for what you allow.
as a child, you are the provider of the family.
Yes.
Did you realize what was on KeKe's shoulder?
Yes, I did. And I wore it like this Marc Jacobs runway.
Like I said, it's normal for her household. It's normal that she was bringing in that much money, paying most of the bills. It is normal for her, not for everybody, but for her to be upset or to feel like, dang, I was the one that made it happen for my family. That's not a way that you should look at life. Look at it as you were the one that was chosen to do that.
I wore it like armor.
It's okay. You did amazing.
I would do it again for my family.
That's why you did it to begin with.
For community. And I think that is the thing, you know, life is a lonely place.
It is.
And when you have your family, and if you're the one, then you're the one. That's it. That's the way it was. And now, you know, my sister could go to FAMU and she had to worry about nothing. Okay? She got to live and do what she wanted to do. Same thing for all of us. We get to do things that we weren't able to do. And I wasn't the only person that sacrificed, but yes, a lot of it was on me. And it's just one of those things where I feel like I could be sad, but why?
Exactly. Don't be sad. Don't be upset. You were the one that were chosen to do that. In our household, there's always going to be that one person or the few people in the house. And you have to hold that, do that responsibility. If you're the one that's supposed to have that purpose and to have that type of lifestyle or whatever it is in your house, that you're the one that has to hold all the weight. So everybody's life has a purpose. Find your purpose. Be grateful for your purpose.
Look what I gained.
Yes.
Exactly. Because if you didn't, use that and make sure that you were the provider for your family, you wouldn't have all the things that you have today. So sometimes in life, we sacrifice a lot of things. We sacrifice. That's part of life. You have to sacrifice. Without sacrificing, there is no life. There's always a sacrifice for something good to happen.
I gained so much more than what I sacrificed. It was just really a lot for me to manage. And then I'm making all this money and, so many people are trying to take me from my parents. And I know that sounds so crazy, but it's true.
And that's the sad thing. Because she was providing so much, they're nothing. They're worthless. Why are you even doing that for them? Meanwhile, they're the ones that put her on. They're the ones that put her into these acting camps to make her who she is today. Without her parents, she wouldn't even be alive, number one, and she wouldn't be the talented person that she is today. So sometimes in life, you do not, consider outside opinions. The only opinions that you should consider is inside of your home.
You have all these people that are making money off of you and they telling you, what's best for you and that your parents don't know.
Nobody cares when a man finds his woman under a bridge.
No, I live for Stedman, but you know that Stedman has for many decades been the butt of jokes.
Yeah, because of gender rules.
Yes.
People feel like because she's Oprah Winfrey, who did y'all want her to be with, Barack Obama? That doesn't make sense, guys. I mean, I feel like that's the weird thing about powerful women, what we're left with.
I mean, honestly, who would Oprah even get with? She's a billionaire. She's one of the top female billionaires. Who would she get with to be like, you know what? You need to make more money than me or have money like me. Sometimes it's not about the money. It's about if the person is good to you, if the person is going to be able to sustain longevity, lifestyle, and in a relationship, marriage with you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm supposed to find love, but he's got to have a certain amount of money. But at the same time, I got to still be like, guys, what's going on here?
So that's the statement that went viral. Why does she have to get with someone that makes just as much as her when she's already paying her bills? She don't need no one paying her bills. She's already doing it. She's been doing it since she was a child. She doesn't care about those type of things. And just like regular average people, most of y'all been paying y'all bills on your own anyway. You didn't have the family support. So I'm not saying you got to stay in that position where you're just doing everything. Yes, when you get with someone, eventually you guys are doing stuff together. Sometimes people have to learn, and they might learn through you. So the build a man type of situation people are shying away from, they may need an extra person to be like, you know what? That is a great business idea. They need more support. You may be that person to support him. There's nothing wrong with that if that's the one that's chosen for you. A lot of you guys are missing up on your opportunity, because sometimes it is the lady behind a great man that became great. That is a very true statement. Now they're able to focus on what they really want to do because you're there supporting them. And you're going to be there with them. So whatever wealth that this man or greatness that this man has obtained, you're going to be obtaining it too. So it's like you guys are doing it together. Why are we looking at everything so separate? It's you and then him. No, it's y'all together if you are with him. So whatever he does, you get. Whatever you do, he gets. Just like you do when you have your kids. You're not going to say, oh, I have a child and whatever money I make, no, this is mine. This ain't yours. You're not going to tell your child that. So when you're growing with someone, then you grow with them. Don't worry about what he doesn't have, because eventually you guys are going to have those things together. So that's a wrap, you guys. Scrolling with Lady Di. Leave a comment and share if you have this experience. If you're like, you know what? I am not thinking about, dating a man that has less money than me, but maybe I should. Maybe I should reconsider. Or if you're like, hell nah, whatever I got, he need to go ahead and get it too. And I need to meet a man just like that. Or if you're a man and you experience failure in dating because women are looking at you because you're, nothing to them. Meanwhile, your greatness. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, and let me know what you think. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel.